Welcome to the Multiplying Decimals tutorial. Here's a funny cartoon for you. It's important to learn math because someday you might accidentally buy a phone without a calculator. Today's tutorial will be pretty quick since the 3 steps on the screen work for any type of decimal. So let's start with 3 2/10 times 6 4/10. Step 1 says to multiply as if the numbers were whole. So I'm going to rewrite this vertically instead of horizontally. So I have 3 2/10 times 6 4/10. And then I'm going to multiply those as if they were whole. So I would think of it as multiplying 32 times 64. So 4 times 2 gives me 8, and then 4 times 3 gives me 12. Placeholder. 6 times 2 gives me 12, carry your 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus that 1 makes 19. Then we add, so I have 8, 4, that'll be 10, carry your 1, 2. Now we go to step 2. It says combine the number of decimal places in both numbers. So in this first one, I have 1 decimal place. The next one, I have another decimal place. So that is 2 decimal places. So that means I have to have 2 decimal places in my answer. So my final answer would be 20 48/100. Let's check by estimating to determine if our answer is reasonable. If I notice 3 2/10 is close to 3, 6 4/10 is close to about 6, almost going to 7. So 3 times 6 is 18, and my answer is pretty close to 18. So 20 48/10 does make a reasonable answer. Let's take a look at 2 more problems. These problems have already been written vertically for us. So remember, step 1, multiply as if there was no decimal there. So we're going to go straight to multiplying. So I have 2 times 4, which gives me 8. And then I have 2 times 3, which gives me 6. Placeholder. Then you have 7 times 4, which gives you 28. Carry your 2. 7 times 3, which gives me 21, plus this 2 up here would give me 23. Placeholder, placeholder to represent the 4. And now we have 4 times 4, which is 16. Carry your 1 this time. And then you have 4 times 3, which is 12, plus the 1 gives us 13. And now we have to add this, 0, 8, 9, 5, 1. Step 2, it said to count the place values and combine them. So in the first one, 3 4/10, I have 1 place value. And then in 4 72/100, I have 2. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So I would need to have 3 numbers in my place value. So I get 15 980 thousandths, or you could even rewrite this as 15 9800 since the 0 does not have to be there. Remember, we got to check to make sure our answer is estimated correctly. So this would be about 3. 4 72/100 would be more close to 5. So 3 times 5 would give me 15. So our answer does make sense. Okay, let's look at this next one. So once again, we're multiplying just like their whole numbers. 8 times 3 gives me 24. 8 times 5 is 40, plus the 2 is 42. And then we just have 8 times the zeros. Okay, placeholder. Now you do 7 times 3, which is 21, carry your 2. 7 times 5 is 35, plus that 2 is 37. Carry your 3. 7 times 0 is 0, plus the 3 is 3. And then we have 7 times another 0 would be 0. So now placeholder, placeholder, we're in the 5, so we have to take the placeholders. 5 times 3 is 15, carry a 1 this time. 5 times 5 is 25, plus that 1 is 26. Carry a 2. 5 times 0 is 0, plus the 2. And then 5 times 0 is 0. So now we're just going to add 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 plus 5 is 12, carrier 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6 is 10, carrier 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And now we have to look at how many numbers do we have behind the decimal places. I have 3 here, which combined together makes 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have a blank space, which means we have to put a 0 there to represent that there is a number there. It was a 0. So this number actually would be written out as your final answer. So anytime you need another number, you have to put a 0 in the blank space. If you're struggling with multiplying, remember you can use multiplication table. Some people, it really helps to use graph paper to multiply because you can put the numbers in the box. Unfortunately, with this pen, I don't write the neatest as I normally would on a board. I want you to try these next 2 problems on your own. Pause the video, and when you are done, start the video again and check your work with my work. Welcome back from working on your problems. Now you're going to check your work with mine. So in this first one, remember, act like they're just whole numbers and multiply. 3 times 6 is 18, carry a 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus that 1 is 7. Placeholder, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Placeholder, placeholder. 9 times 3 is 27. Carry your 2. 9 times 1 is 9, plus the 2 is 11. So now we need to add. We have 8 here, 10, carry your 1, 9, and 11. Then I have to go look how many numbers do I have behind the decimal. I have 1, 2, 3. So there need to be 3. So remember, stop and think. If I just did this as 1 times 9, my answer should be around 9 as an estimate. And 11 and 908 thousandths is the correct answer. Okay, on the next one, you have 9 times 8, which is 72, carry your 7. 9 times 7, which is 63, plus 7 makes 70. 9 times 0 is 0, plus that's 7, and then we just have another 0. So you could really just ignore that 0. Placeholder, 1 times 8 is 8, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 0 is 0. Placeholder, placeholder, 3 times 8 is 4, 3 times 8 is 24. Carry your 2, write down the 4. 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 2 is 23. Carry your 2. 3 times 0 is 0, plus that 2 is 2. And now we can add 2, 8, 14, 18, carry your 1, 4, 2. Once again, you have to count how many are behind the decimal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers behind the decimal, so I need 4 in this problem. So the answer for this one would be 2 and 4,882 10,000ths. It's not always about being perfect, it's about effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, that's where transformation happens. That's how change occurs. And that goes for life and math in general. So great job watching this video. You are making the change. You are going to be ready for this test next week. I made a quizzes, the assignment's live. Just go to join.quiziz.com and the code is 555980. I hope to see great scores on there. If you have any questions, come see me or Miss Regal or Miss Elliott in tutorials.